gonna be defecation at some point.
Oh God.
Hey, Abby.
What? Oh, what?
I hear you. You know,
Ruben took the time now to say hi to you. He waited like 15 minutes.
Hey.
I'm the cuter version of us.
Well, you're the cuter half. There's nothing about this that's cute.
No.
Our babies get my dark Native American hair and your baby's Irish eyes.
My bad. I went to go share the post.
Here too.
That's what's up. Promotion. Gotta promote that shit.
We're gonna have 1 million views today.
Hell yeah.
Right. You know, we gonna get 31 shares this time.
32, baby.
Oh, 32. Oh shit.
I know.
You gonna get 32 and somebody gonna screenshot it.
You know how support happens. They support you from afar, maybe.
It's gonna happen. I lied. You're actually gonna get 2 people to screenshot it, and then one of those dickheads is gonna try to promote it like it's his own show.
Yeah, lately I've been hearing about that shit. People putting other groups
guys.
and other pages
gonna,
information as their own.
We're gonna start the music. Here we
go.
go.
I just share the show everywhere.
Okay, here we go, guys.
Everybody riot, organized chaos, nobody quiet. We gon' try a seance. Communication and communion with the world's greatest icon. Station as a human, yet he's listening to my song. Hype joint, this that no nigga with the bass and the bang. Make it do, yo, hit you with the 5 elements like 5 elements.
Okay, Abby just gave me a pumpkin right before we went the fuck on air. That's great. Anyways, welcome everybody to the Round Table on HamiltonRadio.net
It's the
channel
new
HR2. I am your host, John Brecco. We've got a very, very special show for you guys today. Last week, I added 2 new co-hosts, which I was very excited about because that's the first time I've had co-hosts literally since I first got this up and running about 3.5 years ago. I'm probably going to have 4 or 5 people when everything's all said and done. May or may not add some guest co-hosts just so, you know, a bunch of comedians can come on, make us laugh. We'll still have a guest every week, of course. But anyways, we got Chino Deleon here. How you doing, bro? You feeling good?
What's up, man? How y'all doing? How you doing? You know, I'm pretty good, man. It's Tuesday. We still alive. Can't complain about too much, you know. Still alive. Could be worse. Can always be worse.
My work week is almost over, and I'm ready for it to be. Bro, I've been at Amazon so long. What I do, I used to clock out on time at like 6:30. Then I started at like 6:25 because they give you 5 minutes. Then I started at 6:20, you know, for that walk to the fucking clock. You want to know what I did after that? Now what I do is at 6:05, I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to go to the bathroom. Hold up. I just don't come back. It's going to get to the point where I'm feeling real frisky like 1 day a week, and I'm going to clock out at 1:37 just to see what happens. We got Victoria Scaplen here.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
What up?
Good. You know, just hanging out with you guys.
That's it. Other than that, same
Yeah.
shit, different day.
Always.
All right, cool. That's fine. Gonna say, it doesn't seem like there's anything else to this. So,
No.
anyways, Jesse Armon is also gonna be on with us if she can ever get her video and camera working. I was wondering what's taking her so long.
Oh, I'm here.
She's here. All right,
I'm
can you put
here.
the video up?
Is it not on?
No, there's just a J there.
I mean, I don't look so good. It's fine. It's on my end. It's working.
Oh, on your end it's working?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. She's up now. Did you just get out of the shower?
Yeah, I gotta head out in a few, but I wanted to visit.
Oh, okay. supposed to be my new co-host. She's just coming here for like 5 minutes. Like, hey.
It's really just not a hey. I gotta get back on a call with work, so I'm doing my best.
No, it's all good. Honestly, so thank you for, just coming to say hi. I appreciate it.
Welcome to the show.
I was going to say, I feel like
Yeah.
she's not a wrestling fan anyway. So she's just going to be looking at us like, you fucking nerds.
I wouldn't even know what to do.
You fucking dorks.
That's fine, though. I can just have comics make jokes. That's the beautiful thing of it. So,
Amen.
I mean, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I don't know when you're actually going to leave, but, like I said, thank you. I just don't know how long she's going to be here. So she's like, I just came in here to say hi. I was like, I've never had anyone do that.
I told you I will do every single thing around the thing that makes me money, and then I'll be here.
I can't even be mad at that. But anyways, I should probably introduce our guest because it's been like 5 fucking minutes.
Probably. Man.
He does 2 podcasts with the Bleav Network, Bleav in NXT, and Bleav in UConn women's basketball. Jacob DeLawrence, bro, how you feeling? Are you good?
Woo. What up, man?
It's like lag.
Oh, I got claps? I feel special. I never get this treatment when I show up somewhere.
Trying to make our guests feel home,
Hell yeah.
Of course. Yeah, listen, all we need for him is some
But
wrestling.
yeah, I'm doing good. I appreciate y'all having me on tonight.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming on. Work with us a little bit just because your camera is lagging at the moment. So if I talk over you, I apologize. But I think the first thing, as a fellow wrestling fan, that I want to ask is, what made you become a wrestling fan? Like, what was the match that did it for you?
I don't have a match per se. My story's a little different. Mine was my first wrestling memory is just sitting on the living room floor with my dad and my older sister watching wrestling.
Okay.
Since I was legit, that's all I remember is just watching wrestling with them, and I just never outgrew it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me reword it a little bit differently. What was the first match that stuck out to you?
Ah, damn. I think it was 1, 2, 3 Kid and Razor Ramon on Monday Night Raw. Where Kid hit him with upset, the moonsault, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. That's a classic, too. Then he had the match with Bret Hart and everything.
Yep.
That beautiful fucking gem.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yo, all right. I gotta tell you guys something about Jesse.
No. Don't worry. I'm enjoying learning about wrestling.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I did. I watched one something. What's it? A match? A game? A round? I watched one of those when I was little at a friend's house because my parents never watched me. They
Loving this
hated.
already.
They fucking hated me. But yeah, I watched Shamrock.
Shamrock?
Dude,
Ken
right?
Shamrock, yeah.
Yeah, I liked
Okay,
him. And then there was a triple letter of some kind.
Triple H.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Like I know fucking nothing.
We're
and
gonna
then-
figure this shit out together.
Right? And then the Mr. Austin.
316. So cool.
Okay.
All right, I think The Rock was a wrestler. So there you go.
Okay.
He was.
The Rock was there. That's all we need to know. Literally, when she was bringing Stone Cold up, I thought she was just gonna be bringing up some dude drinking in the ring for no reason. He just had fucking beers in his hand. He was cheering himself like he has no fucking friends.
Word. He had a lot of friends.
Oh,
Badass.
my favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah, he's my favorite wrestler, hands down, just because of the fucking attitude, the way he carried himself. He made him looking bad, good.
Yeah,
That was my guy.
bro, the anti-hero wasn't cool until Stone Cold.
True.
That's just
True.
facts, bro.
Once he disrespected McMahon, that's where he just elevated, man.
Yeah.
And he was just great on the mic, too, man. He was like The Rock, man. He's like one of the greatest people on the mic. So, But yeah, I got a question for you, Jacob. My bad. I know we've been talking. I know he asked you, like, what made you into a wrestling fan? What made you pick up and actually do podcasting about wrestling? Well, NXT, because I noticed it was mainly NXT.
Yes, mainly NXT. So I write about wrestling every so often, and I was already at Bleav doing the UConn women's basketball podcast, and I had pitched a wrestling podcast to them. They liked the ideal of adding a wrestling show. They just wanted to tweak some things, and thus they came up with NXT. They gave me my co-host Cedric. They brought us together, and we've been cooking with grease since like the start of the year, just giving hot takes and opinions and facts, and Ced swears my line is tapped because everything I say on the show tends to come true, and it kills him like every week.
And man, as a wrestling fan, I've stopped watching and supporting WWE since last year's WrestleMania just because of the creativity. They're just burying great performers. Like just for me as an older fan, I don't see it as wrestling. I see it as almost theater. It's almost like a theater.
Beautiful.
People like anime. People like movies. I like wrestling because, first of all, it's the only thing you can ever see two grown men actually put their body on the line to entertain us. So you got to give that respect. We know the outcome, but yeah, like Jacob, man, you know how many times I said shit was gonna happen and it happened? I'm like, thanks, McMahon. It's fucking predictable.
Like
Honestly,
I called.
Yeah, I just want to say this. It's normally best when it's predictable because this old ass just fucks so many storylines up, and that's what bothers me so much. Like, you think you're gonna get this, predictable thing that's just gonna be beautiful to watch, and you just want to see it. And he's got to make this swerve that's ridiculous and makes no goddamn sense. It makes about as much sense as him jumping off the platform. Anybody seen that video where he's teaching Rob Gronkowski how to jump off some fucking,
Yeah, he basically called Gronk a pussy. That's what he basically did.
No, because this 75-year-old stupid-ass man literally went on this 15-foot-high platform, just goes this back first into, like, what do they call that thing that, you land on?
Yeah, that crash landing pad.
Yeah, the crash
like, what are you
landing.
scared for? It's this simple. Just takes a bump. I'm like,
and he's literally just, once he does it, he's literally just laying on it like what you going to do?
Now, Jacob, did you play, do wrestling in like high school or anything like that?
No, I grew up in a small town in Alabama, so we didn't have all those extra rich people sports, I guess you could call them. Like wrestling, lacrosse, swimming. Nah, you had traditional basketball, baseball, track, like your stereotypical sports. We have all the extra stuff.
Those really
Okay, so you didn't have to bleach your hair or anything?
No, none of that. No.
Okay, good. Do you know why do people do that? Like, what's the trend with that?
bleach their hair?
Yeah, people
They're
do
probably
that.
fucking drinking.
I used to do high school wrestling. I did it for all 4 years. The only thing I used to do was shave my legs and my arms because, oh boy, that shit would hurt if you have long hair on your legs on that mat. I love wrestling, man. I was always a big guy, so I did probably look funny with the singlet, but it's cool.
Big and beautiful. That's
Yeah, I did.
absolutely-
I was flawless, hunty.
Yeah.
I love it. John,
Bro.
I'm so bummed because I'm getting into this, but my cunt boss is calling me like on nonstop. So you all are great. Thank you for teaching me. I'm so sorry to dip out.
No
Nice
problem.
meeting you, Jess. You have a good night.
Have a good one,
Bye.
Jess.
Have a good
Thank
one.
you. Bye.
But yeah,
Armon on here, ladies and
Jess
gentlemen.
Armon, thank you for showing us your face
Thank
for 5-10 minutes.
Yo, can I just say
Some
one
love.
thing about Stone Cold that I didn't get to say 10 minutes ago?
What's that?
Huh?
You know how many times Stone Cold, when I'm drinking alone, has inspired me to just do a cheers to myself?
You do a cheers to yourself? Sometimes when I do a good job in life, I just high-five myself.
Bro, I'm not even mad at that. It's COVID season, so that's probably about all you can do. I had this one lady when I was leaving work today. Like, I was joking around with a friend of mine because what happened earlier is this dude actually tried to take his wallet, and he did it like right in front of his face, and he called him out on it, like, you're trying to steal my wallet. So the dude, trying to take the shit, he's just sitting there like, I didn't try to steal it. You were looking right at me. Like that means just because he was looking at you, you give me a fucking wallet. So, I see him later, and I see him with this lunch bag, and I was like, oh, you trying to feed me too, because he was talking to me. So I'm like, thank you. Like I was like almost trying to grab it off his shoulder, but not really. And this lady like leans over to me. Mind you, she's like about a foot away once she leans over. She's like, 6 feet. I was like, you get 6 feet. Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? Like, how you gonna tell me 6 feet and then be leaning like a foot away from me? Makes no goddamn sense. You know what the crazy thing is? I completely forgot, the part of wrestling we were talking about because of that. Yo, let me tell you guys something though. Chino. It's probably somebody making noise. All right.
Yeah, my bad. I'm muted. My bad. Apologize, guys. I have kids.
I'm good, bro.
Who am I? If we talking about wrestling, I got kids.
I was about to say somebody's probably getting their ass whooped right now. Yo, but here's the match that made me a wrestling fan, and it's about the shittiest match that can make somebody a wrestling fan of all time. The first match that I can remember watching, where I started consistently watching wrestling, was Big Show versus Rob Van Dam back when they did the reboot of ECW. Because I'm a youngin', okay?
Was it like 03?
I was 11 at the time. So because I was so young, when I watched the match, I knew who the guy clearly that I was supposed to root for at the time, which was Rob Van Dam, because he's fucking awesome. And, they go through the whole match. And if you actually watch the match itself, it's not bad. It's just, the reboot was already so messed up about a month in. And then Big Show wins the ECW title, and they're clearly not rooting for this dude. He knocks out a referee in the middle of the match somewhere, and I see them throwing like trash at him. To an 11-year-old, it just looked right. But it was so wrong in so many ways that I didn't understand at the time that I understand now, that I'm just like, oh, God.
My bad, Jake. How old are you?
31.
Okay, so we the same age. All right, so we grew up. How old were you when you became a fan? I don't think we spoke about that.
Like 5, 6, like
same here.
As long as I can remember.
So, he said that was his first match. That was like around 02, between 02 and 04.
Like
I remember when ECW came.
Like 07.
Yeah, probably 07. Yeah. I remember that. There was a part back in the day. Fuck, what I was going to ask you? Oh yeah, WCW or WWE at that 90s era when it was NWO?
Both.
Damn.
I would wear the hell out of that back and forth button on the remote.
Same here. Damn. So we definitely grew up in the same area. See, I'm an 88 baby. I'm 32, so we're definitely around the same age. But yeah, I love wrestling. I would love going to watch it live. I haven't really watched it. I'm AEW, so that's how much I really can't stand the WWE.
That's fair.
But I feel like I don't. John, have you watched AEW?
I don't watch it consistently, but I've watched it a little bit. I do want to start watching it though.
Man, it's definitely a fresh air, man. Like as a wrestling fan growing up, it definitely gives the old sense of like the old back in the day feeling of as a fan. Obviously, we're grown. We know it's not to the extreme of it, but yeah, man, they're actually producing a product that you, as a wrestling fan, not as a WWE fan, as a wrestling fan, you can appreciate.
Yeah.
That's why when I see you talk about NXT, I'm like, man, that would be great. Do y'all talk about only NXT?
We'll touch on the main roster every so often. We'll talk about AEW. It's mostly NXT, but we end up weaving in a little bit of everything. It just depends on how the convo goes.
Yo,
See, I'm not big on wrestling. I'm more of an MMA mixed martial arts fan. I was doing mixed martial arts for about 6 years and then had to stop. But when I was watching wrestling, it was like when my dad was into it, like in the 90s when Hulk Hogan was big back then, and he would really like get into it, and that's when I think I kind of just got into just like the art itself of just like fighting.
Gravitated, yeah.
Yeah, and just appreciating it more. Now I have to say I really don't watch it, but like I appreciate it because it's an art form. It is a drama, it's a suspense, and it keeps people on the edge, and I appreciate it that way. But I don't know. I just think it's just a really cool art form for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate how you told us that you did MMA for 6 years, reminding us that you could kick her ass if you really wanted to.
Yeah, she really just let that in.
You
real
said that,
fast.
right? Like, I did 6 years. Fuck with me if you want.
listen. She tries so hard to show off that she's a badass that she actually has a joke in her routine where she starts doing push-ups. I swear to God. I've seen this bullshit at open mic. She did this at an open mic at a record store. There aren't even record stores around anymore. And out of all the places to do that shit at.
They got standing ovation for it. You already know.
Yo, she opened up her routine like, I'm just going to do 10 push-ups now because I can. You guys need to count one. And then she started threatening to fuck everybody up in the show.
She got up like, fuck with me.
That's what you do?
Yeah. I was ready to throw hands. You already know.
It was beautiful. I was going to say, I tried to do 10 push-ups after that and nobody gave a fuck. I'm fat and I still couldn't get any support. It's hard to support myself.
So, what you call? I guess Jacob. I did write some questions. So I'm gonna just say some of them. How long have you been? Yeah, how long have you been? First of all, not just broadcasting, but how long have you been doing like hosting on radio or at all? Radio or podcasts in general.
I've been podcasting since like 2017.
Okay.
I started over covering the Jaguars for USA Today. We had a podcast over there. And I like occasionally will pop in now. They moved to Bleav Network as well. Shout out to my boys, James and Phil. So I haven't popped in since they joined Bleav, but we used to do a show together over there. From that got Bleav's attention. They came to me, gave me the basketball show, and then gave me the wrestling show. So I've been at it for 5 years now.
Nice.
Good for you, man. Definitely. I got into radio probably about 2013. It was just, college club rush thing. I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. So
right.
I figured, go there, try to find something because I'm in college and I still don't know what direction my life is going. So let me try to figure something out. So I see the radio station there and I'm like, oh shit, that looks fun. If I go on there, people will have no choice but to care about what the fuck I got to say. So I'm like, let me go try to get a show here, go to some meetings, see how I like it. And the first show I ever did was a music show. It was shit, now that I look at it back then. But, from the first minute I got on there, I could talk about something and share how I feel, about a subject. I was hooked on it. And, I've just been trying to get better and better doing it ever since. It led me to Hamilton Radio, and I guess ultimately to this fucked up conversation that somebody walked out of after 15 minutes.
Now, Jacob, so your podcast for like wrestling and basketball and everything else that you do, how much research do you have to do going into your podcast? Because you're talking for what, an hour, maybe two?
Yeah, we try to keep our episodes about an hour or less because, after like an hour, people tend to tune out or they listen in multiple chunks. I don't know if any of you guys listen to the Joe Budden podcast, but I'm not trying to give you 3.5 hours in one podcast. Don't have time for that. So with the UConn podcast, I kind of have to do a little bit more research because it's really stat-based. Like I would break down the game, recap, give you a box score, actually look at things from a technical standpoint. I also coach basketball, so I can like break things down for you a little bit more, but make it accessible for the casual listener. With the wrestling, it's really pull up the mic. All right, what happened? I watched this. Oh, what are we talking about this week? Cool. Let's hit record. Let's talk some shit. Let's have some fun.
I noticed something when I was watching the, women's basketball podcast. What I noticed is, because we're going through the pandemic right now, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You were doing shows about when they were winning championships and on a bunch of different topics like that. That make it a little bit easier, to do the show, be able to keep up with it, make sure you putting episodes out there for people.
Yeah, that was my biggest issue. I was like, all right, because as long as the season's going, I have something to talk about current. Yeah. And then when the season stopped, I was like, well, what the hell am I going to do for this show? And I was like, oh, cool. There's like 13 national championship banners hanging up in stores, Connecticut. Let's just go through the list. It's content until I get something. So I was like, cool. We'll just take a trip down memory lane. I give you 2 episodes a month, give or take. We'll just keep it pushing until we get basketball back, which it looks like we'll have soon.
Yeah. I'm going to say, are you excited to see March Madness again?
Yes, because I was submitting paperwork for press when I got the alert that NCAA canceled March Madness. I was like, well, never mind, delete this email, just going about the day, going to the bar to have a drink. This is bullshit.
He was like, I got to drink this off.
Pretty much.
There was a lot of money lost. A lot of money lost for with March Madness not happening.
That's true.
Now, do you only follow women's basketball? And if not, what was did you do like a special episode for Kobe Bryant?
No, I follow all basketball. I just love basketball. It's just I got the Connecticut show because I grew up a Connecticut fan from my dad. Mm-hmm. So it was just like as a kid, it was like UConn men and women's basketball. That's all I knew. And I was like, really? Hey, I'm adult. UConn, I bleed blue. And with Kobe, I made mention of it. I just didn't dedicate a whole show because I felt like there was a lot of oversaturation at the point.
Yeah.
Where it was like, we get it. I understand it. I'm not trying to belittle or make light of it. But I didn't want to add the same thing to the market.
Everyone there was.
Even if it's something different, said different, I don't want to add to a market that is oversaturated. Because I feel like with death, especially when it's tragic, the fact that you get all these outpours, and it almost becomes too much for somebody to handle.
Yeah.
I was walking through like a supermarket right shortly after Kobe passed, and I literally looked at the magazine stand, and it was just like Kobe, 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 Kobe. I was like, this isn't even like anything that covers sports. I have Kobe on the cover, and I'm like, this is too much. Like I just can't. So that was me. I was like, if I can work it in organically, sure. It worked because Kobe and Gigi were huge supporters of UConn, so I made mentions of it.
Yeah.
And it was like, cool. But like a whole episode, I was like, I can't do it because I'm a Spurs fan for the NBA, so I hate the Lakers. Like I loathe the Lakers. Derek Fisher is a hoe for always and ever. So it was like, all right, I had to go through Kobe to get those 5 rings. So I get it. I appreciate Kobe. I'm grateful for Kobe's contributions to the game. I'm glad that I got to see Kobe in his prime and everything. So it's just like I couldn't do it. Just like, nah, I'm just gonna get my little bit and just keep it moving.
You wanna know why I appreciate that though? I appreciate that because there was so much sadness going around, because of Kobe's death. And it was constant for literally weeks. Couldn't stop hearing about it, and it was a lot of the same. It reminded me of when Michael Jackson died.
Yeah,
back in 2009, that was a lot of the same thing. And
it was Kobe Bryant, damn it. Yeah, man. I get it. I definitely get why you don't do it. You know what I mean? And the fact that it's funny. It's funny that you just said that Gigi wanted to go to UConn. So I can see what you're saying about putting it in there organically. I definitely respect that. But like obviously you've been doing podcasts for 5 years. Is this like, are you doing this just for the meanwhile, or do you plan to eventually make this like your means of eating in general?
I mean, I'm here for I don't want to give the cliche of, oh, I'm just here to do it because I love it, but like that's what I'm here for. Like if it turns to a check, who am I to say no, depending on where the check is coming from?
Yeah.
So
John's going to leave as soon as he gets the check.
What the hell are you gonna say no to money for? I'm doing this so I can quit my real job.
Basically, in a roundabout way. And also, it's just for me. There's not a lot of people that look like me telling my story or covering things, especially in wrestling. Like wrestling media is a white male dominated media. It is what it is. You get a lot of bullshit with that. So for me and my co-host Cedric, we're both black men covering this sport from essentially the outside, and we're like, oh, what you see as like, oh, that's cute and funny. We're like, yo, that shit is borderline racist, dog. Like, what the hell are we doing here? Like nobody in the room thought this was maybe a little questionable.
No, that's like McMahon saying the N-word. Remember that?
Yeah, like, like how many people signed off on this?
That is one of the stupidest old white men I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, the best one was Booker T.
Fucking dad that I already got to deal with. I don't need to watch you act stupid too.
Yeah, so it's just that. It's like, like we bring something fresh every week. We come twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. We like to get guests on that look like us or that represent communities that aren't well represented, so we can get these outside opinions, because a lot of people think wrestling fans are just a bunch of sweaty neckbeards that live in their mom's basement and can't keep a job.
True.
Not quite the case. Although, some of y'all could probably use a little deodorant, guys. I'm just saying.
Yo, after work, that's true. That's part of the reason why I'm glad we're doing this show from here. And he lives out in California, because I got off work after an 11-hour day. So I know that don't smell good.
Oh, jeez. You need some Febreze then.
He probably smell like cold meatloaf right now.
Oh, yeah.
I just need it around me just so I can skip in it for 20 minutes. That's all I need.
Yeah, and I guess it's you kind of answered my question. My next question was like, do you have any owner rights or any rights to any of your podcasts?
The way I see it is basically you can take the name all you want. I don't care. You can take the name. I'll just go make another one.
True.
Because you can't replace me. Like,
got you.
As a creator, I look at things as
a brand. Got you.
I'll give you the name. If you want to take the name, sure. Like, I write for the website stillcrew.com. I have several, like, concepts. I cover music. I have a concept called First 48. I listen to an album. My first 48 thoughts about the album. Random, it's jokes, it's facts, whatever comes to mind.
I like
write
that.
about wrestling over there called Views from the Hard Cam. At any point in time, if somebody wants to go, hey, I own these names, I'll go, okay. I don't care. I'll make another one. I've done it before.
Yeah.
So I'm the creator, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's the name. No, you can take my name and my concept, but you can't do it as well as I do it.
Yeah.
So you think they're coming for that name? They're coming for me. Take the concept. I'll just make another one.
Yeah. I'm going to say you can never hop on what somebody does and think you're going to do it the same way they did it. You know, it's not going to happen. It's not going to be the same thing, because, you know, everybody has something original that they bring to a show or whatever they do. They have something original. And if you think it's going to be the same when somebody else does it, it's just not going to happen the way you think it is.
Exactly. Like y'all do comedy, y'all do stand-up. So I can literally take your set list and your joke list, and I promise you I won't deliver it the same way you deliver it.
Yep.
Like,
That's why a lot of comics don't like it when people do their stand-up routine, because there has been situations where people just take their shit and they all get pissed off with it. Like for David Letterman, he hates it. He hates it when people take his comedy, because you can't tell it the way David Letterman tells his jokes. You can't tell it the way Joe Rogan tells his jokes. You know?
Exactly.
You don't copy somebody's set in the first place. You know, because that's stealing somebody's idea.
Yeah.
You don't do. That's something you don't do because you come up with your own thing. That's what makes it an art. So stealing ideas from somebody else and telling them as your stuff, stealing somebody's idea, and that's not art.
Yeah.
That's just being an asshole.
Yeah, you ruin shit when you do somebody else.
I mean, even though you don't do stand-up, Jacob, I'm pretty sure y'all do jokes in general that come off while doing podcasts. I mean, obviously, maybe not the basketball one, but wrestling, there's so many jokes that I could think of right now. But no, but you just brought it up. Those other projects you do, that's on your own time and on your own dime, or is it something that you get paid for to do? Like the 48, the first 48.
My own time, my own dime. I get paid through like Medium's Writer program. I think they sent me a direct deposit for, hold please, 68 cents last month.
Oh man, you balling right
You're
now.
a millionaire.
Oh man,
And I think I hit like 1,000 views on articles last month, and I got 68 cents for it. So
listen,
I mean, it's a grind.
Getting that money.
listen. You know how many Jolly Ranchers that'll get you a Hobby Lobby?
And this
One or
one
two?
about 3.
I was gonna say if they up the prices on it, definitely. But last time I checked, it was 5 cents. That's 13 Jolly Ranchers. Look, if you find 2 pennies in the couch, that's another one.
So yeah, it's just a grind, a labor of love type thing. Because I understand that I'm doing this not for now, but for down the road.
True.
Because, all it takes is the right person to see it, believe in you. You get the bump, you get a push, wrestling term, you get the push, get the rocket strap to you, and then, hey, work.
And ultimately, it's like you adding
somewhere.
Well, ultimately, it's just adding things to your resume. I mean, it looks like you got a resume pretty much right now. I guess. See, last week was we were going to interview somebody else that actually works with Bleav too. So this is the first time I ever heard of Bleav. Like I heard of other podcasts, types of companies, but this is the first time I heard of Bleav. So you do Bleav just on strictly just to do it for the fun of it or the love of it? I don't know.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But they bank off of you right now, right?
If they do, that's on them. I'm not. It is what it is.
Yeah, I get what I mean. I definitely get it because, like, if you're by the end of the day, you're doing something with your voice. It's your name on it. So even if you don't get paid, somebody could see that, like you said earlier, and like, look, we got a job for you. Do you want it? And so I guess like John
they're helping me.
A radio job too, right?
Yeah, I'm at WBCB right now. Right now, what they got me doing is announcing high school sports. So
man, that's something.
That's what I've been doing for about the past month. I love doing it, especially when it comes to football, because football is my first love personally. Even though the NFL is making me sick right now because my team is 1-3-1, and it's hurting my soul.
We're 0-5, man.
Bro,
4-1. I can't talk. I can't relate.
Same.
Are you a football fan or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pittsburgh, Nah, I just seen the yellow and the black. That's why I said it. What's your you said Alabama, so I want to say. You said 4-1. They're 4-1.
Yeah.
Are they around your region?
No, actually, they're closer to those Eagles a little bit.
Okay.
Ravens?
Yes, Ravens fan.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
That's why you said. The only reason I said Ravens was because when I said Pittsburgh, you were like, hell no. So that means they're in your same division.
Oh, nah.
All right.
Hey, listen. I'm just wait. Let's just wait for them playoffs to come. See how he's feeling after that.
Hey, I mean, sorry. We still have
a good team, man.
I have to say, we still have the most recent Super Bowl ring in our division, so it is what it is.
Yeah,
that's true.
Bro, I miss watching Ray Lewis play though, for real.
Ray Lewis.
Catch body on the field and off it.
Yeah.
Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, all those boys.
Yeah.
Jacob, you mentioned that you were 5 years old when you got into wrestling. Do you remember the first fight that you saw live?
I just remember that old school Monday Night Raw set, that entrance music that I can't carry a beat or tune to get it out. That's just what I remember. It's just sitting on the floor watching the last 5 minutes of Murder, She Wrote on USA Network and then watching it roll right into Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn, on USA.
I don't remember who the first person, that I saw live, when I went to the first wrestling show that my mom took me to. But I remember one person that was in the match. Y'all remember Umaga?
Yeah, I remember Umaga.
Bro.
Rest in peace, Umaga. Yeah.
Bro, when he reinvented himself as Umaga, that was the best thing he ever did for himself. Because it was just so believable. And he did such a good job, as a character, as a goddamn psychopath.
Yeah.
Honestly, he just made it work, and I love it. You know what's crazy, Chino? You should never get a face tattoo because you'll look like Umaga.
Hey, man,
You
it's
kind
your
of
only
look
costume,
like
right?
Post Malone a little bit. Like I can see that in your face. Like you have that baby face like Post Malone does. So if you get like a bunch of tattoos like that, braid your hair.
Who, me? I look like Post Malone?
Yeah, a little bit.
He's so.
I mean, it's better than Umaga. Say. I mean, John look like Vader, so.
All you need is like a rap hit. You'd be good.
A rap.
Hold on. You want to know what I don't understand? How you go from a name to like Umaga, and you get that badass character. Then before that, you had a name called Rosie.
It's all about the character.
Hey, Stone Cold was called Stunning Steve Austin at one point.
And he was a Hollywood Blonde before that.
Yeah.
And he was a ringmaster.
Now do wrestlers.
The ringmaster. I hated that one.
Now do wrestlers need to take acting lessons before they get into the ring because they're getting into this really big stage, and they're putting
if you want to be the heat guy, yeah. From what I understand, I'll let Jacob answer this. But from what I understand, from what I heard is, if you really want to make it big in WWE, they do give you acting lessons. Like I know Roman Reigns was literally just taking acting classes himself, so he's still bad though.
Yeah, a lot of folks take acting classes on their own time, and down at the Performance Center where they train like their recruits and up and coming ones, they have promo classes and acting classes because it's like a soap opera. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You could be the best person in the ring. You could be the most athletically gifted. You could do every move, every flip, all of this. But if we put a live mic in your hand, you can't talk and make it believable and or not sound cringeworthy and corny, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like you got to be able to do either one thing really, really well and hope you can get by on the other, or at least do, like, if you are great in the ring, you have to at least be able to semi-carry yourself.
Sure.
Otherwise, you
You gotta be able to scare somebody.
Yeah. Well,
He's gotta be believable.
depending on who your
I
character
was
is.
scared when I was watching like wrestling when I was little. Like I was like, oh my god, I don't know what's going on. I was freaking out.
Yo, honestly, talking is probably more important than the actual wrestling itself. Because
Yeah.
if you talk, you can actually make a story believable.
Yeah, you're connecting with the audience.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
it's like what we do. We tell stories, we make them relatable. People start laughing. And once they start laughing, we're with us. Then you make fun of some dude in the crowd. Then they're really with you because, you're interacting with them.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it has that crowd connection.
Mhm.
I mean, do I think you have to take an acting class? I mean, technically, no, you don't, but I think it would help.
Yeah.
Because, you try to put yourself into a storyline, then of course it's going to help to see yourself in that scenario and try to work on it and try to rehearse it.
Yeah.
Try to get it to be relatable to an audience. So technically no, but I think it would help.
I
And
mean,
I'm
don't
assuming-
photo. Sorry, go ahead.
And I'm assuming that they are given a monologue for the wrestling because they have that like whole 2 minutes of them just talking and like pumping everybody up. Am I right?
Yeah, they do. That's why I don't like Vince McMahon because he does give him monologue. But not that long ago, Roman Reigns and Cena was doing a promo, and Roman Reigns forgot his words, and Cena called him out quick. It's called the promo, kid. And that's how you could tell it was authentic and it was not meant to be said. Because even you could tell in Roman Reigns' face, like, all right, you want to play that role. So, but yeah, you definitely get a script. It's definitely scripted.
That's because they painted Cena as the guy for 10 years, and everybody hated it because nobody else got their shine. Now he wants to just break the fourth wall to try to make up for all the bad times he put us through.
Yeah, I hated Cena because he wanted to rap. Fuck him.
Bro, as soon as he stopped rapping, that was like the end of anybody loving his character.
Yeah, he even says it. Once he got picked up the rapping, it's like his character went up there. But yeah.
Bro.
It's definitely scripted.
Yeah, but honestly, I hate it when Vince McMahon, gives, scripts too, because he made Roman Reigns say "suffer and succotash" on national television. That was the worst thing that ever made that man do. Like, before painting him as the guy after Cena, before you gave him all these wins that he didn't deserve, you made that man say "suffer and succotash" on USA Network on national television. What the fuck is wrong with you? How could you do that to a grown-ass man? Yeah, see, that's making Jesse laugh. Can you take a grown man seriously if he says "suffer and succotash"?
No.
Yeah, you goddamn right. She won't even turn her mic on. Trying to talk, she forgot to turn her mic on now.
Did you go to college, Jacob?
Yeah.
My question is, what did you study there? Because I want to say like radio and broadcasting, right?
No, actually, business.
Oh, okay.
That's
smart.
I don't know how. I just have like the gift of gab. Because folks are like, oh, did you do radio or anything in college? I was like, nope. I just know how to sit down and apparently talk really well into a mic and talk a lot of shit. Enough where people want to hear it.
Yeah, I definitely heard some of your podcasts, and I had you pictured as something like a geeky ass dude, dog. Not like but you have a great voice. Like you really do have a great voice for radio. And so when I look at you, I'm like, oh man, this man could probably go my touches.
I appreciate it, man. It's reps. Like it's anything. After a while, you kind of become comfortable. Figure out pockets and so on and so forth. It's one of those things. It's practice. Because I promise you, I think I might go back and try to find like the first Jaguars podcast I did. I was like,
you was young, right?
Yeah, you listen to the first one you do, you're like, ugh.
Horrible.
Bro.
It's like when you get recorded doing Mike, I'm doing a stand-up, and you're like, oh. Nobody told me I look this bad? Yeah,
I listened to the first set I ever did back in March of 2018 recently. I couldn't stop cringing. It was so fucking bad. And I actually thought I did halfway decent that night, getting on stage and talking about why comedy doesn't make any fucking sense. All my punchlines took forever to get to. I kept dragging out the story. I kept stuttering because I was nervous. Like, this was fucking awful. Yeah. Like, I had no business doing 10 minutes in my first set. Jesse, turn your mic on.
Can't hear you.
Oh my God, I've had some gold moments there, and you heard none of them?
None.
Fuck! I was just gonna say, Jacob, like how long do you think I have to practice for my voice to sound good on the radio?
So here's the thing. Chinno just said I had a nice radio voice. I fucking loathe the sound of my voice.
Okay.
Yeah, I do too.
Stand my voice.
But
I hate my voice.
Objectively speaking, your voice is easier to listen to than this. So, like, what would your suggestion be?
I love how he's like, yeah.
See, I got nothing for it because to me, I sound horrible to me. So I can't give somebody else anything because I'm just like, everything sounds good to me except my own voice for some reason.
I'm the same way, man. You know what I do before I do a set? I yodel. It's like that.
I honestly think it's natural to be a little bit turned off by the sound of your own voice. I have trouble watching my stand-up because of that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think if you actually like hearing the sound of your own voice, you're a fucking narcissist.
I mean, I like the voice that I hear.
No,
I like the voice that I hear. But when I hear it recording to me,
Hear in my head.
I'm like, who's
when I
this
play it
fucking
back.
dork?
And I hear it back. I want no playback on my voice. That just sounds. This sounds natural. Playback sounds weird.
Yeah.
Jesse.
Yeah.
Want my honest opinion?
Kill yourself and die. Is that what you're gonna say?
No, that actually wasn't what I was gonna say. I think you would actually do a voice actor if you found like a niche or something. Because you remember when I told you.
What do you
your
think
voice
I could
sounded
do?
like- I think you could do voice acting if you found the right niche. Because you remember
Yeah,
when
I know
told
everyone says that. I mean, I don't know. I watched The Little Mermaid recently, and she got a man and lost her voice, which is still an option, I suppose.
Yo,
You could be like a character on The Simpsons or something. I can definitely see you being friends with
I
Marge
think
or
you're
something.
thinking. I think you're
Marge.
thinking Lois Griffin.
oh,
Yeah.
I told her her voice
Yeah,
sounded
yeah.
You don't know how bad both times she came on this show, like before and now, and I just wanted to be like, oh, Peter. Bro,
Thank you so
I
much.
wanted to do it so bad, but I didn't know how she was going to take it with this many people here.
It's so nice of you. Thank you. I love compliments.
I started it with a compliment.
Don't worry about it.
Hey, yo, you know what she tried to tell me? She tried to tell me that she's a bad luck charm. I'm sitting here like, how? Like, all of us are fucking laughing and joking around right now, having a good-ass podcast. How the fuck are you a bad luck charm?
I'm just like one of those. I'm like Charlie fucking Brown. Like, I'm just one of those people.
Yo, I love the reference, though. Wait,
So,
so
like, that's the only way to say it. I'm like Charlie Brown, and I got, like, it's like I have Eeyore spirit, but I have, like, Tigger personality.
I can see that.
her life, according to her, is an endless loop of Charlie Brown trying to kick that football.
I can relate to that so bad.
Like every time, she's about to get through her day incident free. She's about to kick the football. She just starts slipping somehow. Nothing can happen. She can walk past, one of her favorite signs in New York, and it just sets on fire. Some shit like that. Bro,
One day, it'll kill me.
yeah, I used to watch this cartoon on Nickelodeon. I don't know if anybody remembers, like, iCarly, but one of the characters, like the older brother, anytime he would walk past something, it would just magically set on fire for no reason. Like, he
Yes, I
clapped
love
time and
Spencer.
stuff set on fire.
Spencer is very underrated. That dude made that show.
He
I'm a
really
little
did.
old for
You know-
iCarly.
Listen, he made Drake and
I
Josh.
was a little old for iCarly.
I think he played the
Yeah.
same character as
little.
Spencer. Like he was the same kind of. What was it? Wasn't he Crazy Carl or something in Drake and Josh? Crazy Steve.
Oh yeah, the movie theater guy. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he kind of brought the same kind of like feel. He kind of reminds me of Jim Carrey in a way, in a really weird way.
Yo,
Hey
listen.
Jacob. Oh, well.
What's
My
up?
bad. I was just gonna say, even though I don't mean to be rude, guys. No, I was gonna ask you this before I forget. Do you have anything in plan for, like, obviously, once you're done? Like, what's the end goal? My question is, like, what do you see yourself doing? Because right now, you said podcast is something you don't even make bread on. So what's something that are you, like, working on towards anything to build something your own?
I don't have an end game.
No? Oh, you gonna live forever, huh?
Is to continue to sit down in front of a live mic and talk as much shit until somebody pulls the plug from me.
Okay.
I love it.
And then when that plug gets pulled, I just go try to find somewhere else. It's the hustler's nature of, hey, I'm here. I don't have an end game. I'm going to do what I came here to do, which is deliver. I feel like me and Seth deliver the best NXT coverage on any podcast network. We say we are the best damn WWE-centric podcast for a reason. Call yourself the podcast tag team champs. You can call it arrogance or whatever. I just think I'm that damn good.
That's how you
feel. So somebody
If
proves
you
me
believe
wrong.
it, people will start believing it. Trust me.
Exactly.
You gotta
Like,
believe
I tell everybody I'm skinny, and so they start believing.
Chino, I'm never gonna believe that.
You're gonna believe it, damn it.
Bro, listen, nobody's gonna believe I'm skinny.
You're
They're gonna
looking
believe in
shit.
me. Huh?
Don't lie to him, Jess.
No. When I met John, he was fat as fuck. Trust me.
I'm still
That is
fat.
not
What
what
do
I
you
meant.
mean?
Nah, he just cut his hair. That's all it is.
You look a little trimmer.
I gained 20 pounds during COVID. I'm not
You know
trim-
what? It might be the red.
No, you know what
yeah,
it
it's
is?
the red.
You know what it is? You're only looking at me from the neck up. That's why you can't see it.
Yeah, maybe you're a stomach grower.
Yeah, I am. It all comes out in the stomach, and that's the worst part of it.
Remember, he had a beard too almost all year.
Huh?
You just recently cut your beard, what, like a month ago, right? You had a beard and your long hair.
Yeah,
for
you do
most of
look
the year.
about like 15 years younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? It's like my set goes. I look like an 8-year-old about to dance to the John
So
Cena.
maybe that's what it is. It's just acceptable because you're just like a fat little kid.
Yeah. Bro, I've been like this since I was 5 years old.
I love how she said
Is that
fat.
like the start of an Eminem song, by the way? Like, I've been this way since I've been 5 years
You look
old.
like Justin Bieber before he was famous.
This started as an interview with Jacob into a roast.
Bieber lost all that weight. This is what happens if Justin Bieber never gets big. And Usher
Yeah.
never do video.
Hey, Jacob, this is what you expected when you came up on here?
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna show up. It's a live mic. What happens, happens.
Yep. You know, Jacob, that's 90% of the game. It's just showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm here. What happens, happens. Let's just have some fun.
Exactly.
The whole point is the mystery. You're not meant to figure this shit out. Every time you get on a mic, it's a fucking adventure. Yeah,
Damn straight.
like this man said, he's trying to talk as much shit as he can. You know, trying to drop all those pipe bombs.
Exactly, man. You know, I'm not even dropping pipe bombs. That's more of Sed's thing. I just tell the truth and I predict the future. Like, Sed is still upset because months ago I called Cameron Grimes beating Finn Balor. I was like, it's going to happen. Sed's like, there's no way. I was like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen because of outside interference. He's going to pin him 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring, and you're going to be pissed the next time we record. Check, 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 check. As Paul Heyman likes to say, spoiler alert, just, you know, like, not a spoiler alert, just telling you facts here. This is what it is.
What's the way you put that?
You know what it is? He's trying to put young guys over, and I love it. Yo, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. But yo, because this is the only storyline on the main roster that I like right now, with Roman Reigns turning heel. I think they did a really good job with that. But if you've been following that at all, what do you think is gonna happen? Because you know they got the I Quit match going. What I think is gonna happen is he's gonna break his cousin. There's gonna be a faction. You know, him and the Usos, the bloodline. They're gonna bring it back, and I think he's gonna hold the title till WrestleMania. What do you think?
Yeah, that's kind of how I see it going. But my only problem is you booked a I Quit match inside of Hell in a Cell, which in any other circumstance I would love. But I'm trying to figure out how you're going to get out of this and what is next, because eventually, yeah, he's going to break Jay. Jimmy should be clear around the first of the year. You probably end up reuniting them. You have the Samoan SWAT team 2.0. You have the bloodline. Eventually, maybe you find a way to rope Rocky into this.
Yeah.
Get that Rock Roman match at Mania. Maybe you get a Rock. Maybe you get a heel turn from the Rock, and you just have like a passing of the torch. You have the 4 Samoans all together. You have Heyman in the background. I mean, you could run this for at least a good year or two. It's just you have to be very careful of what you do, because once Jay is out the picture, who's next for Reigns is my question.
Yeah, that's true.
Other than Seth Rollins, since they moved him over to SmackDown. That's my guess, but it's like, like Seth is a heel though.
Yeah, I was about to say face Seth Rollins versus heel Roman Reigns.
Well,
That sounds so great in my head. Like that sounds beautiful. I was about Jesse's just over there like this now.
No, I just wondered if you guys are still talking about wrestling.
Yeah. Was there another guy with the beard this time? Because I remember that guy.
I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page now.
There was a guy who came to the ring with his initials. He didn't actually have a name. It was just letters.
I got it. I was way more descriptive than that, by the way. I said 3 of the same letter. That's an excellent clue.
That's very true. I was gonna say that does make it pretty easy.
That's what I said Triple H as soon as she said it.
Yeah. She said 3 of the same letter. I was like, I should know this.
I mean, it wasn't Triple X.
I think I got all like the main people except John Cena.
Apparently, Ruben wanted to play my theme song early. But, Jacob, I want to ask you one more question because that probably means Ruben's got to get the fuck out of here. Where do you envision the podcast going? At the end of it. I know you don't have an end game, but like, where do you envision it being? Do you have any idea of that, or?
Ideally, I would love for the podcast to be, I don't want to say the go-to, but I want us to be up there with like the Wrestle Raps, which is a great podcast hosted by the mighty Ben and Emilio Sparks, the Corner Podcast hosted by Andreas Hill and Caleb Dansby. I want us to be one of those podcasts that if you look for something that isn't the typical Pro Wrestling Illustrated, the Dave Metzers, Ryan Sands, no knock to them. If you want something that has culture to it, something that's different, that takes a unique angle, I want you to come look for Bleav in NXT. And if Bleav in NXT isn't around, I want you to come look for what Jacob and Seth are doing, whether together or separate. I don't want to say a defining voice, but I want to be something that shows people, hey, black people cover this, and hey, we cover it just as well as you guys, if not better. So if you want something different, come to us. We got the Blue Magic. The stamp on our dope is good. Like, we call our Saturday show, Saturday Morning Audio Dope for a reason. Our dope is good. So come to us. That's what we want to be, is the go-to. One of the ones that you think of, like, oh, hey, what's up? Oh, Bleav in NXT. Like that. That's basically what I want.
I gotcha. Honestly, man, I love it. I'm hoping to climb up in the podcast world with you. See you at the top somewhere. I love your energy. I enjoyed talking about wrestling with you, having these guys on here with us, joking and laughing as always. So I just want to say thank you for coming on, and I hope you can come back sometime soon, man. I really enjoyed having you on.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. No problem. Yeah, anytime you want me on, just send me a message, man. I'll come through.
All right, awesome. Anyways, guys, this was Jacob DeLawrence here with Bleav in NXT with the claps again. Next time we got to get a chant for this motherfucker. But anyways, guys, this has been the Roundtable on HamiltonRadio.net channel HR2. Your host, as always, John Brecco, Chino Deleon, Victoria Scaplen, Jesse Armon here for the first time, even though her cunt boss called her and shit. Got through it. But we'll see you guys here, same time, same channel, next week. Be here. Deuces.